Welcome to Florida Listing, where we talk about real estate topics. I am your host, Isabel Faria.
Hello, everyone. Isabel Faria here again during these COVID times. And I'm here today with David Seif from the law offices of David Seif. Hi, David. How are you today?
Great. Hey, Isabel, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks for inviting me today. This is very nice to sit and talk with you. So I've been practicing in South Florida for about 15 years. I'm an attorney. We're in the Galleria Professional Building in East Fort Lauderdale, which is next to the Galleria Mall, kind of close to the beach. We do a lot of real estate. So we do real estate closings, both commercial and residential. And we also do family law and probate. So a lot of your clients, if they're going through a divorce or had a death in the family and they need to sell a property, you know you can reach out to me and I can help you with all of those issues.
Yes. Well, so now many people want to know about some things of everything, of how everything works. But also now during these times with all the changes that have been going on because of the virus, and I wanted to talk to you especially because the title companies do so much for our closings, and I wanted people to understand what is it that you do, because after we find the appropriate property or the appropriate buyer for a listing, that we go under contract, and then there's so much to do after we get to that point. And I want you to explain briefly what are the steps that go through all that. Okay?
Sure, that's a great question. So with a real estate contract, people talk about that you have to make a deposit. And the deposit in a real estate contract is called escrow. Escrow is just a fancy legal word for saying how much money you're going to put down. When you put the money down, we accept either a check or they can send a wire. So they would make the check payable to David Seif trust account, and the money gets held in our Bank of America attorney trust account where it's safe. Or they can wire that money into the trust account also at Bank of America. Once I receive the wire, as a realtor, I send you what's called an escrow letter. That's the proof that I'm holding the money for that buyer. And then you send the escrow letter, I'm sure, to the seller's realtor so they know that the buyer is serious and put down their escrow deposit. Usually after that, we order a couple of documents. We order the tax and lien search, which makes sure that the people have paid taxes on the property and that there are no liens or outstanding open permits. And we also order what's called title, which is the title commitment shows if there are any outstanding liens or judgments on the property. And if there are, we have to cure them. So a judgment might be something, or a lien might be just that the seller has a mortgage on the property that we have to pay off. That's not a big deal, but we got to order the payoff. It might be that they owe some money when they were sick to the hospital. If they do, there's a chance that might have to be paid off as part of the closing. So the title commitment shows any judgments or liens that they might have on the property. And we find that all out, and that's how we protect our buyer title. He knows that his property is free and clear of all kinds of liens or open permits or any problems. So what are your thoughts about that? I'm sure you've seen a lot of that go on in your course of working with these clients, right?
Yes, we have seen many issues, but nothing that was never being able to get solved. So everything, we go through all the hurdles of that.
Right. And I know you talked about the coronavirus and how that's affecting transactions. So I'll share with you a little bit about that. Fortunately, in South Florida, the market has bounced back very nicely. So there's a lot of properties for sale and a lot of buyers that want to sign contracts. Really, some of the harder issues are with the realtors having to get into the homes to see the properties. But usually, if they're careful, the sellers are willing to let them in, and they go in privately, and they wear their gloves and their masks, and they can see the property and make sure that they love the property that they want to purchase. When I receive the contract, my people are still here in our offices, just like we always were, but we take extra precautions, wearing masks and gloves to keep everything safe and sanitary. With regards to the closings themselves, some of the lenders are taking a little bit longer to get the closings, paperwork to us, but things are still closing on time. It's just that some of those people are working from home and they're not all in their same offices. So sometimes we have to call a few different people at the bank so that help them coordinate the closing to make it run more smoothly. But the closings are happening, and closings are happening for the most part really on time, which is wonderful, because when this whole thing started, nobody knew how it was going to be. But now we feel confident because we've seen it in action and things are working fine.
Yes, we were really concerned when this started. We did not know what was going to happen, and we are surprised that everything has gone so great and everything is working. And yes, in fact, some things have been giving us a little more work, because they, especially the lenders, have added some extra steps and extra verifications, not steps, but more verifications before the closings. But as you know, you keep closing every day, several times a day, so we're doing great. And in our group, we have done more than 36.
And it's true that they have extra layers of protection that they've imputed just because they want to make sure that the parties are still employed. A lot of people have lost their jobs. So usually a day or two before the closing, they're double checking that the buyer still is working. He's still working at the same job that he was when he first started the loan. And and you can understand why they have to do that. A lot of people have lost their jobs or had to change jobs. So they want to make sure that they have all the right information about the buyer.
Yes, and that had made us go into extra steps, but nothing that has affected, which is very important for the people. I think that the people are anxious of hearing from the people that are out there, not only showing, not only lending, but doing the closings, to make sure that everything has been going smooth, and especially that there are things being offered in the market, and there's been doing a lot of transactions have been done. So it's surprising, but it's been a great moment. So I think
absolutely. I mean, I've really been amazed, honestly, how well people have worked together. People from all different industries working together to help the buyers and sellers do their transactions. It really, when people talk about it takes a village or a group of people, it really does take the realtors, the buyers, the closing agents, and the lenders all working well together to get through what's a difficult time for a lot of people. But we're still making people's dreams come true, and we're still closing on wonderful properties and getting to the finish line with very happy buyers and sellers.
That's great. Well, these are short pods, so I'll be asking you again for more series so we can explain each step through the way. But for now, so everybody, we are still showing with our precautions and with our new protocols. Title closings are closing, title agencies are closing, and with the new protocols, that everything is going on and everything is fine. So if you have any questions at the end, in the bottom, you will have all the information. You can contact David or myself for any concerns or any information you need. So for now, thank you so much, David.
And thank you, Isabel. And I agree. All of your clients, if they have questions or concerns, any legal matters regarding their real estate transactions, don't hesitate to call me. Call today. My team is here for you. I've got a wonderful title team, and I'm here to answer all of your questions. And together, we're going to get through this all together and get to the finish line. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.